Hello and welcome to this second part of a tutorial series about a game view system which is mainly code driven. Let's just see where we ended up last video. We have our menu system, we have our views, we can navigate between all views. We're able to pass content from a view to another view. We're able to get some data from a view, and this all works nice. Now, code-wise, it's not that clean. First and foremost, we have all these references to these game views, which we manually need to set up in our scene. We need to manually, every time we add a view, we need to remind ourselves to be able to just close it on startup, or else it might be shown on top of everything. We have this ugly cleanup local method, which is just a patch. It gets even dirtier when we have other kinds of callbacks with data. So let's try to get rid of those. Um, the way to get rid of these will be to make another object or class responsible for giving us a decent view and making sure we can close our views and clean our views up using that class. So the object that will be responsible for that will be something I will call right now a view provider. I will make this a scriptable object. If you do not know what a scriptable object is, I highly suggest you look it up. Because they're really awesome. They're basically a way to add functionality or data that is not coupled to any scene. Now, what will we have here? Our view provider will be responsible for getting our views and opening our views, like I said before. Every time we say open right here, actually before that we want to get our main menu. Our goal will be to just eliminate this and get our main menu from somewhere else. Okay? And this is what this view provider will do. So we will need a public void get view. Well, this will not be void, of course, but just and a method which will be release view. Now, for now, we will have our startup will be responsible for cleaning everything up and doing all these kind of things. But let's see what we can do. Now, our void, of course, will not be able to get what we need. So we will want a kind of view, but we want several kinds of views. We want our main menu view, settings view, game view. Now you could just return a view, but then you would have to cast, and that gets kind of messy. So we will use generics right here to get a view where to get a generic type T where T implements view. Here we go. Now this is not an ideal system. It will have some, let's say, issues, but for now let's just implement it the easy way. Now, of course, to get this view, we will need a list of views. Here we go, and we will go through all our lists, and we will just return our views dot find a view where our the type of our view equals the type of RT. Of course, we will need to cast it to T. Now this will return null if we do not find it, so it is our responsibility to catch this in any way possible. Okay. Now, this would be easy if it worked, but this won't because, as I said before, let's just take a look at our view provider. Okay. Let's just put it in our screens as well. Now we have created our possibility to create a view provider. Let's just call it screens. And as you can see, we have a list of views right here, and I could just drop in our main menu view. I can drop in our game view. Let's just drop in all of our views. I think end game, and settings. Here we go. Right. Now let's say we want to get these views. We can go to our startup methods and just instead of all these views right here, we will just have a reference to our view provider. Here we go. And instead of, let's just start with our main menu, we will say right here that our main menu view, main menu equals our view provider dot get view of type main menu view. There we go. Now, you might have catched this already, but this will not work because in our screens right here, we are referencing the prefab. So we will still need to instantiate it. So there are two ways in which we can do this. We can either instantiate it in here, but just to keep this flow kind of somewhat cleaner, I would like to do this in the view provider itself. For that, of course, we will need to have some sort of context in which we will want to instantiate the view, because if we just instantiate the view, it will be right here in the hierarchy. And if it's not below a canvas, we will not be able to see it. Right? So let's just disable this one. Let's remove it altogether, as a matter of fact. And let's see. So I have in our startup, I will need to add our view provider, which will be our screens. See, I've added it right here. And now let's add our instantiation code. So for that, we will need a reference to a rect transform, which will be our view container. I'm using a rect transform here and not at the canvas itself, because if we want to nest views within views, this will also be quite easy to do. Let's say we pass this in, so we add our view container to the get view, and this will be the parents. Here we go. So now this will be our T is view prefab. And now what we need to do is instantiate this view. So our view instance equals instantiate view prefab. We will add it to the parent, and we will pass false for the world position stays. This is something you need to do if you instantiate things in UI space. Now let's return our view instance, and we should be done right now. While we're at it, we will need to implement our release view for now. So let's do that. We will pass a view, and just for now, let's just destroy the view right now. Okay, here we go. This is just because if we do not clean up after ourselves, we'll be spamming the hierarchy with view instances. Okay, so now we've got rid of our main menu. We've added a reference to our view container. This will get our view instance, and for the rest, this should just work. For now, we've made things worse. Well, not worse. No, that's not true. Let's just add our cleanup right here because we still have our cleanup, right? So we will need to release our view, which will be main menu. Okay. So we got rid of some cleanup just because we're destroying all of this. Here we go. So let's see if we set up everything correctly, which isn't true. So we pass in our view container, which will just be our canvas. We have our reference to our view provider right here. Our view provider has the main menu view we will be requesting. It will instantiate it right here. And if I have not messed up anywhere, nothing should have changed visibly. So we have our main menu. As you can see, it is a clone right here. That's what instantiate does. It just adds clone to the name. If we play the game, we see it gets disabled, which is not really what we want, I think. And if we go back, yeah, we can see we add a new main menu view right here. So something is not right. Oh yeah, I know what's up. Yeah, this is a mistake I make quite often. In our view provider, when we release our view, the view is not the view is a component on the game object, so we will need to destroy the game object. And now Rider is telling me that this could be static. Yeah, that's true. But we might want to do other things. Like we may want to hide the view before and then wait for it to complete hiding and then just remove it. So let's not do that. All right. Now, let's just clean up everything else. So we will not need all of this anymore. And nice and clean, right? So we can add things wherever we want. So now on our setup, we will just get rid of this. Get rid of this. And we have our var settings equals view provider dot get view of type settings view. Here we go. And we provide our view container. Same for game. Oh, wait, hang on. Up, close. So we will do view provider dot release view settings. Same for game view. For game equals view provider dot get view game view view container and cleanup. As you can see, we still have the same issue, but we're closer to solving it. Oops. Base view, game. Now, complete game. And here we go. So we've cleaned up some lines right here. Okay. Let's see if this still works. Let's fix this warning. We can play our game, can go back. Oh, wait, this is not alright. Is there something wrong? I think there's something wrong with my game view. Let's see. Game view. Whoops. Seems I've lost some settings. Okay, let's just fix this. I think my view lost some references while adding this. This was just a prefab issue, I suppose. Okay, let's see if this is fixed. Play game, go back, play game, win game, right, play game, lose game, okay, settings, go back, super, right? This is nice. If we ever want to add another view, we just get it right here with using our view provider, and then we only need to make sure that it is in our view provider. We do not need to change our scene anymore. Okay, so let's get into the solution of getting rid of this cleanup method. I am a bit in doubt right here because I see two options to get rid of this. And the two options are quite different, but one of them involves using C# tasks and a lot of use of async and await. And because I have not used that before in these videos, I'm a bit hesitant to using this. Although I really want to get there, but for now I will implement a slightly more simple system. And let's just start implementing this system. So this system will be I will call it a view stack, and it will allow you to stack a new view on top. And for now, this will not be very special or anything, but you can really expand upon this. Let's just get into coding. I will make a C# class, and this will not be a mono behavior. This will not be anything Unity specific. Let's just call it a view stack. So this view stack will allow you to add a new view. So public void add view. This will be of type view. And let's just say that we will open our view, and that will be it, right? For now, right? We will also just get a reference to our current view. Yes. And when we add a view, we will set it to our current view. Great. Now, if our current view is not null, we will do some cleanup. We will want to release this current view. We want to close it and then release it. So for that, we need our view provider. So just let's add a private read-only. Hang on. View provider. Yeah. View provider. And let's instantiate this from the constructor. Here we go. So if our current view not does not equal null, so if it exists, we will just say, well, view provider, just release this view. Like in the future, we will be able to, let's say, close the view or wait for animations or something, but just let's do it like this for now. What we will just need to do right here is have a private view stack, and let's initialize this in awake because we do not need references to anything not on this game object. View stack equals a new view stack, and we will pass our view provider. Great. So what will we do right now? Instead of, we can get rid of all these opens because we will just get our menu, subscribe to everything we want, and then just say view stack dot add view. I'm not liking this name right now, this add view. But now we can get rid of our cleanup because our view stack will take care of this cleanup for us. Let's just rename this to push. Here we go. That's better. Okay. So view stack push. Great. So now we just get a view, we subscribe to its settings, and we push it to our view stack. Great. So let's just refactor everything right here. Push settings. Here we go. Oops, get rid of this line, rid of this line, get rid of this, get rid of this. There we go, view stack, dot push game. Don't need you anymore. And we will do view stack dot push end the game. Here we go. Let's see if this works. Back to Unity. We do not need to assign anything right here. We still have all our views. And if we play our game, we can go back. And as you can see right here in our view stack, that we keep the references to all our, we clean everything up. We're not getting any double calls because everything gets destroyed, so all our listeners are gone. Okay. this concept of a view stack is really easy and simple, and you can do a lot with this, because if you just push a view and maybe sometimes you want something like a pop-up view that does not hide the parent below, you can just push it, it gets shown, and when you press close, you just pop that view. And since we are keeping track of all our current views, we can also implement something like all previous views in here. Um, so we could like say viewstack dot go back, viewstack previous view, right? This is really simple. This is really extensible. I don't really like this right here because yeah, this makes sure that we depend on a view provider, but we need it to get rid of the view. Maybe we can pass in something else later. If we just look at everything right here, I think we have accomplished what we set out in the beginning of the video, and that is cleaning up our startup a little bit. So we have some easy flow um, methods that we can just chain together, right? This is really easy. If we want to change anything, we do not need to unsubscribe. We do not need to manually clean up. No, we just have our view provider and our view stack working together. Um, there is some room for improvements. In a next video, I will probably like show you some more branching logic. Um, I might go into the async thing I mentioned. Nesting of views is something I would like to show because that does not use our view stack, so we need to manage our own view. Um, I would like to add when I say branching logic, I have in our game view right here, I have this back button, but I also have a settings button. And for now, if I would add the settings button to the game, it would go to the settings and the settings would just go back to our main menu. So we can get into that, and with that you can just enable like our view stack to remember previous views and just go back to our previous ones. Like that's what these on backs right here are really good for. But that's something for a next video. So I will see you then. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, remarks, possible improvements, let me know. And I will see you next time.